Hello guys, it's Blair here and I'm here to talk to you about Blair Drew. I have to get to know my own name a bit better. The shift has been really interesting. But anyway, I'm here today to talk to you guys about Nanowrimo and challenges. So this is something that has been kind of coming up in my creative space and my mind for the past couple of weeks really as a reflection of um, my own challenge that I set for myself and how I started doing that a little bit more. I started creating my own challenges that I'm doing by myself and offering other people to do as well if they really want to, but they don't have to. So I wanted to talk a little bit about NaNoWriMo and how for me it has been insidious, a slow burning problem when it comes to my writing. Now, granted, when I first started writing more and more and more and being very prolific, like extremely prolific, like 5K, 6K a day, I was a teenager and I wasn't in school. I had been in the house most of the time. I didn't like going outside. I had severe anxiety, severe social anxiety, and it was a way for me to just like relax and chill and really hone what I love doing, and it helped me find a voice. So in 2007, I found NaNoWriMo, and I was just enamored with the concept, enamored with the idea of it. And so I spent that month writing a story, um, and it was my first novel. I worked a little bit off it before then, a couple of days before NaNoWriMo until I found that, and it helped me get through to about 300 or so pages of the story, and that was fine. And then the next year, I decided to write another story, which I started and sort of wrote for a little while, wrote for a couple of months, wrote really, 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 really hardcore, and then I stopped writing. Then the next year came, I didn't do as much writing as I usually did. And as this progressed, this sort of practice from going and writing 1K to 5K a day, whatever it was back then, to basically only writing and working on my novels in November. And I think I was about, what would it be, 3 years, so 16, 17, 18, about 18 or 19. And 18 or 19, I had a very big burnout in terms of like life in general. I'd gotten into several various aspects of an industry of work I didn't like, but I needed to do to survive, and well, I thought I needed to do to survive, and my writing was pretty shit. Like I didn't have the support behind me to actually be able to go after what I really wanted, but I still did write every now and then. It was around that time, I think I was 20, when I started writing fan fiction. I started writing supernatural fan fiction. And I was in love. I was totally in love with writing again. It was my way of getting back into the writing seat. So we moved away from the area that we were in because it was just not conducive to living. It was not conducive to being safe. It just wasn't. Like the people that were in my life were not healthy people, and I knew that if I wanted to make a clean start, I would have to, get out of that place. And so I did. And then NaNoWriMo came back around again. And so I started another story. And then year after year after year after year, I just kept starting stories and never finishing them. Because this whole construct of, 30 days, we write a novel in 30 days. So I'd write the novel, I'd do the first draft. But by the time I had gotten through that, I was so burned out that, I just couldn't bring myself to write anything. I couldn't bring myself to look at it. I couldn't do anything. And then after that, like I'd give myself a month's break and then I'd try and write again, and I'd write like 300 words in a day, and I'd hate myself because I hadn't like hit those high notes. And so the next day I'd try, and the next day I'd try, and the next day I'd try, trying to figure out why I just couldn't get into this zone again. Because a lot of the things that a lot of the energy around NaNoWriMo is, it's a group, it's building each other up, it's that energy. I noticed that, especially closer to the end of how, when I decided that I wasn't going to do it anymore because it was just not working for me. um when that community, I mean, I made a lot of friends out of the community, and I took a lot of like friendships out of that community, and I wrote a lot. I have a lot of manuscripts that I could be working with. I have a lot of things that I could be expanding on. And all that practice, all that writing has been fruitful, and I am absolutely happy that I did that NaNoWriMo. Um, had that journey with NaNoWriMo. But when that energy drops, and you don't speak to these people until next year, because that's what happens all the time. You get into cabins or groups or whatever, and it's like this um, fantastic energy, fantastic group sitting and community, and then all of a sudden when NaNoWriMo finishes, you just don't talk to people. Um, if you have a writing group outside NaNoWriMo, if you have a support network already built up, I think that's important. I think that's one way to get to make it through that month. But it also created something else. It created a idea for me that I had to get that novel finished in 30 days. Then, around the same time, a lot of people were bringing out books about it, how you could write a novel in 30 days and publish it. The publishing industry even changed a little bit, where, there's a lot of expectation, and it still is, I think, at some places. If you are an already published author, to make sure that you're like getting out these books like in like 3 months time, and that's fine. Like 3 months is probably, I think 3 months to 4 months is a great time to get a first draft done, because it gives you like what, a season to just really give yourself the time. Say you got 50,000, 100,000 words, yeah, 100,000, 50,000, yeah, 100,000 K. It gives you that time to sit down, and maybe you might only get like 3,000-4,000 words a week even. That's still progress. I think that's the most important thing. I don't really believe that NaNoWriMo gives you that opportunity to develop a writing practice. I don't. I really don't. I think it gives you the opportunity to burn your shit out. I think it gives you the opportunity to start something, and it is perfect. It is absolutely perfect for people who want to finish a novel, who want to start a novel, who are new to writing, and there's been a lot of successes. Like there's, the Night Circus was started in NaNoWriMo. And, it does come back down to whenever you're writing and you want to be a published writer, you have to write and you have to be dedicated and have it a priority. That's not a problem with me at all. However, I do think it's not necessarily what you're doing in it, it's what you're doing afterwards and how you feel afterwards. And that is where I think it can be unhealthy. And then you've got Camp Nano as well, where you get to set your own goals, which is a little bit different. The reason I'm making this video is because I had an experience this week with a person that I have been sort of on and off friends with for a while. I'm sorry, my Facebook is going off. I've got some messages coming through from a couple of people. Sorry. Okay. And so basically, like, this person was like, would you like to join my camp? Would you like to join my camp? I said, no, thank you. NaNoWriMo isn't for me anymore. It just doesn't work for me. It really doesn't. I want to develop a slow practice, writing and being published and being a prolific author. It's not about burnout. It's about that slow journey towards writing something, that slow journey towards actually finding a story. Um, and to me, like I said, it just doesn't work. That's not saying that I'm bashing NaNoWriMo to the point that no one should do it. I think it's fantastic. I think it's a fantastic vehicle. However, I'm just offering some thoughts around it so that people who may be feeling the same way, or have been driving themselves to do this, or experiences may connect. And so I said no, thank you. And then she said, it's okay, Camp Nano, you can pick your own goals. And I said, I'm very well aware. I've done Camp Nano before. I've done camp before. It's fine. Like, every time I'd finish, I'd have a first draft, but my writing practice would suffer at the end of it. This is just me. Would you like to be part of my cabin? No, I would not like to be part of your cabin. You can just sit there. No, I don't want to be part of your cabin. I don't want to just sit there. Um, you know, she said she said again, you can make your own goals. It's very relaxed. It's very relaxed. You can just relax and make your own goals. It doesn't have to be much. I said, I don't want to do NaNoWriMo. It is not for me. It does not work for me as a writer. It does not work for other people as well. NaNoWriMo is not the end all and be all of being a writer. If you do not do NaNoWriMo, that does not mean that you are not a writer. If you do not finish NaNoWriMo, it doesn't mean you are a failed writer. The point, the pivotal point that I think is often missed when it comes to challenges, is that whether you finish or not is not it is not the goal. I mean, yes, in some sense it is the goal, but it's the parameter you're setting up to actually achieve something. And what are you trying to achieve? Are you trying to finish something? Okay. What are you going to do when you don't finish that novel in 30 days? You're going to feel like fucking shit. What are you going to do when you don't finish that Instagram challenge because, life got in the way, or you decided to do other projects, or your questions weren't working for you, or you were sick? What are you going to do? You're going to feel like shit. You're going to berate yourself for not being able to finish something. I say, okay, do NaNoWriMo, do your challenges, that's fine. But make your own fucking challenges, guys. Make your own challenges. Learn to create for yourself. Learn to create foundations for yourself. Learn to create your own writing practices that aren't reliant on 30 days, quick writing. There's a tag that's going around right now called Hot and Sticky Summer, I think it's called. Love it. 400 words a day over what was it, like 400, 500 words a day over 3 months. Perfect. Who can do that? Everybody can do that. Like, literally, everybody can do it. And even if you only write 100 words a day for a whole week, you still have 700 words. Because let's be frank. Let us be frank and Stein. Don't know what that means, but Write. The whole point of writing is that you write. And if you come to this thing and you resist and you burn out, like, I would much rather burn out, after I had been steadily writing and I'd finished my actual project, over a year. And, at the end of the year, I'd be like, oh, that was so great. I've finally finished my novel. And I did it in a way that at the end of the year I could say, and I've actually developed a writing practice. I've developed a steady writing practice, and I've, watched it evolve, and I've changed things. Because another thing is too, is like, you can't change you can, but NaNoWriMo is also aimed at a specific 50k goal. If you write 100 words, you're going to have to make that up the next day. And if you don't do that, you're going to have to make it up the next day. And even if you, write, like, I used to write 10k a day, I could finish it in like 5-10 days. That's fine. But it's what is it costing you? Like, it's costing you, like, social life. It's costing you, and this is another thing too. I really don't buy into that whole thing. Yes, I think when you are working on a project, it is important to sort of, like, carve out some time to write and make that a priority and make the people around you. And you have to be dedicated. You have to be hardworking. You know, I do that too. I say to people, no, I'm not coming out. I'm working on my writing, or I'm working on my tarot ebook that I'm writing. I'm doing something. But at the same time, if I don't get out of that fucking house, I'm gonna go crazy. Like, that's not healthy. That's just not healthy. Like, you cannot put your writing above everything else to the detriment of your own sanity and your own mental health and your own physical health. Um, and I know a lot of people do it because I was one of those people, especially like at the beginning. I just did that, and it was not, because you're fed. It's almost like a joke, an inside joke. You need to drink copious amounts of coffee, have lots of snacks, make sure that you have your word count in every day. If you don't have your word count in every day, you have to make it up the next day. And, make sure that, this is a month where you say no to everybody. I don't think that's healthy. I think that, it's more about making boundaries around people. It's about saying, I'm going to write 2,000 or 1,000 words today, but after that, I'm going to go and spend some time with people. Or if someone, if it was a family birthday or a barbecue and I actually genuinely wanted to go, I would be like, yeah, sure, why not? Like, that's gonna give me the break that I need as well. Like, you need breaks, you need physical breaks. And maybe this is just my experience, but I've had friends tell me that they burned out, and that's why I'm not gonna do it. Still have people asking, like, are you gonna do Camp Nano? No, I'm not. Are you gonna do the Instagram challenges? No, I don't care. I don't care about getting followers. I don't care about, you know, um, I just don't. It's not me. I want to create my own challenges. I want to be able to like have my own deadlines and learn that way. I want to create good work ethics and good writing ethics, and regardless of whether I'm publishing or it takes me 10 years to publish a book, that's fine. Like, I will make money the way that I need to make money to support my art. Like, and I don't need to be desperate to do it either. Like, another thing is too is like a lot of people do these challenges to write the books to be a published author to make money. That's not going to happen in a month or two. It just fucking is not. And if you believe that, you're being sold bullshit. Sure, you can put it out, but how? Like, what is the what is the quality? Like, there's no way you can market yourself, promote yourself, write the book, edit the book, and have it finished in like a month or two. That's just fucking crazy. And if anyone can do it, they've probably been doing it for a very long time. So don't be sold on that idea. Like, I really feel like it's a slow thing. If you're going to be sold on any idea, have the idea that it is a slow process, and that is beautiful. That slow unfolding. That is what makes writing magical. The ability to be able to be in it for the long haul and not for the instant gratification. And that's not to say, I've had stories where I have just been in the story so much that I get a lot of writing done outside and inside NaNoWriMo. So it's the story too. But anyway, I wanted to just share with you 3 books that I think are great if you're wanting to start up your own challenges for yourself, purely for yourself. Because you know what, guys? That's fucking okay. Doing your own shit is fine. You don't have to share that stuff. With my 30 days of challenge of one character, I got a week in and I was like, why am I doing this? Why am I sharing this with people? I love to share, but god damn it, Drew. Like, have something for yourself. Do it. Because it's, and then you can share it after you've done it. Experience it first and then share it. So I have A Writer's Guide to Persistence, How to Create a Lasting and Productive Writing Practice by Jordan Rosenfeld. Fantastic book. I'm reading my way through it now. I love that she actually has, exercises, but she actually has a move it section. And this is where she talks about different kinds of exercise or yoga or poses or stretches that you can do on particular subjects. So this is about building boundaries, and she talks about making a graph, who's your support team and who's not, and doing some yoga poses after you've done writing and things. And I think this is a brilliant book, just for the long game perspective, and also because it has those exercises in it that, cement you in grounding yourself in the physical and in your body as well, because that's something I know a lot of writers struggle with. Then I have Fire Up Your Writing Brain: How to Use Proven Neuroscience to Become a More Creative, Productive, and Successful Writer by Stephen Reynolds. This one, I'm just a little bit in it at the moment, and it's really about looking at the neuroscience of your brain, how your brain can function and work, and how you can sort of use your own mind to create a sustaining practice for yourself, a sustaining creativity, creative life. And it talks about this, creating your own mindset, creating your own foundations and practice, because I think that is important. Being in the world on the internet, we feed so much of our own stuff to other people, but we also like feed into other people's stuff as well, you know. And from reading this book, it's really helped me to develop that sense of, it starts here. you know I create the things, I create my practice, I create the foundations, I create the structure, I create the challenges, because I have the innate power to do that within my mind. That's where it comes from, my intuition, my own power source. And how to use that knowledge, and the different kinds of learning, like kinesthetic, logical, linguistic, interpersonal, figuring that out so you can harness your own practice to suit you as a person. So I really recommend this book as well. Lastly, a little bit of funsies. The Writer's Toolbox, Creative Dreams. I've been reading too many books on creative dreaming lately. I think I've showed this before, but I'll show it quickly. It's basically this little fun box. It has a guidebook and some paddle pop sticks, which have things like sentences, the bill she forgot to pay, and little like prompt like things. It does have a like a, what do you call it, an hourglass thing, but that's beside my bed because I use that for other stuff. It's got these really fun little wheels. So, for example, you spin it and it says goals, to know God, obstacles, the cat lady, action, gets on television, protagonist, Amanda with amazing legs. So it's like this fun little box that you can use to create stories, to create, to have fun, because writing needs to be fun too. It really does. And then there's like these six sense cards. So it's like a can of easy cheese and to work with your senses. So, I mean, I don't use this all the time, but if I feel like I really just need a break from like the heavy stuff that I'm writing, because I write sci-fi, fantasy, and I write horror and supernatural, and I love it. I love it to death. It's my genre. It's my bag. But sometimes I just need like a laugh and a random story just to sort of practice with, and I think that's a fantastic way to have a bit of a challenge, give yourself a bit of a challenge, but it's not under anyone else's directive. It's you're building that off your own initiative. Ooh. Okay, so thank you guys for watching. I know it's a bit ranty, but that's just me. That's what's been going on, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.